Right before the break, we were talking. In fact, it may have been a break and a half ago. Both Barb and I had issues with Richard's 14,000 mile an hour train, but we did a little bit of search.
Corrected.
Yeah, well, who knows what's running under this
yeah.
planet? And I'm not going to go there. I know they've got things they will not answer direct questions to. But
well, let's take a look at this. Did you
yeah,
see
go
on
ahead,
this?
Simon.
This is a mapping system of something I found on the internet that claims that this is the 14,000 mile per hour train within the graph that Rand Corporation had proposed. Phil Schneider kind of exposed it. We don't know. We don't know.
He was a USGS, essentially a tunnel builder. That was what he was there for, was to consult on building the tunnels, the 28-foot diameter tunnels, and getting those in place. And where do we build the tunnels through? What kind of substrate do we dig out? And that was his specialty. And as he began to talk about those issues in 94 and 95, he was threatened with his life numerous times. He kept talking, and eventually they took him out in early 95.
Yeah. Now, again, we don't even know for a fact if it really does exist. I don't have first-hand evidence, but I found this on the internet. And the LA Times, it ran in the LA Times, by the way, right here, 10,000 miles per hour, tunnel train plan developed. So it was made public.
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah, it was made public. You're not focused yet. There you go.
There it goes.
All righty. And, yeah.
I mean, that slays me, because our issue with 10,000 miles per hour was you're dealing with re-entry speeds.
I mean,
and then slow down.
Yeah. So these tunnels simply have to be
people like us getting in
vacuums.
Yeah.
These tunnels have got to be in vacuums,
Right.
so that we're not dealing with that kind of friction.
That's that issue. But again, this is my evidence that I'm piling up to try and figure out, is 2012 December 21st the day, and why, and who's preparing for it, and if they're building tunnels under the ground and we're going to be engulfed by flames by some solar flare, maybe this is the answer. I don't know.
Well, and the other,
This was begun when? 72?
70s, early 70s.
Yeah, early 70s, and
So we're 35 years down
there
the
are a
road.
lot of people who say this is real.
And one of the other issues Phil talked about was the underground cities at the cost of 2 to 3 to 4 trillion per, and with a volume of between 2 and 6 cubic miles.
Yeah. Now zoom in on this, please.
Yeah, this is Air Force.
Okay, this is the drilling rig right here that supposedly drilled out, according to Phil Snyder, it drilled out 7 miles a day. And it's got on there U.S. Air Force. Okay, you can see the uniforms down there. And this is the digging machine.
Date on that.
So
I'd
if-
sure like to know a little bit more on that.
If the Air Force is digging underground, does that mean the Navy's in space?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking here.
Okay, now let's go to this one. Okay.
Nuclear tunnel boring
Now, of course,
machine, but
you know what they're
that's-
talking about doing is melting the dirt. Okay?
You have to.
That's what Phil said. We see actual photographs of this thing. Okay. And
Large tunnel excavation.
I'm trying to find more photographs, so please
And
be
all of
patient.
this is supposedly about a tunnel for, say, transit, correct?
Transit.
This is
right.
the lunar base facility, you know, but I'm not going to get into that right now.
Yeah,
but
that's another episode.
No, but what I find fascinating is the fact that this thing doesn't say Halliburton on it.
No. Or Schlumberger.
Yeah, it says U.S. Air Force, air, not dirt force. Okay.
Wow.
Anyway, so who knows? Maybe this is a photograph of them digging a submarine.
What does that
base.
say up in the
I mean,
corner?
I'd love to know what this photo is
United States
from.
Air
Yeah,
Force.
right up
I mean,
here, Miami.
could
Well,
it
what's
be-
this?
I
It's
mean,
got a
come
date of
on.
82.
We've got the NORAD headquarters.
October
I mean, we've
14th,
tunneled in
1982.
before, and that's
Okay, October 14th, 1982.
82, huh?
So there's our date.
Yeah.
So we're 25 years.
Yeah.
So anyway,
That was 82. I was in high school. What's happened? I mean, time is just collapsing. I tell you, things are just flying
Time
by.
doesn't exist
let's
anyway,
cover our next bullet point.
Fourth
The
dimension
reason-
of time collapses a long time ago.
The reason why we were interested in the tunneling and the underground cities is if we're looking at a 2012 event, and what has happened in the past is a solar issue,
Right,
an event with the sun, and that's why we're curious about the solar cycle beginning. That's why we're curious about the alignment of Venus, because Venus ends up being the harbinger of energies once the sun brightens up and sends a magnetic pulse by. Venus is 30 plus million miles closer to the sun,
Right, we're
and
gonna see
will
it.
goop. I mean,
Yeah.
it already glows at -4 magnitude. It may go to -8 or -9 or -10.
And we are
as
going
it's
to
up.
notice
And
that.
we'll
It'll
notice
be
it.
our harbinger.
And that'll be our few hours of warning to
Yeah.
get underground.
Yeah.
Because an incredible array of energies will be coming off the sun, and that seems
We're
to what
talking
has
gamma.
collapsed
Gamma.
the magnetosphere in times past, and probably precipitated or was the cause for the exoduses and the big waves and all of these
Let me,
catastrophes,
let me,
events.
let me try and simplify this for you guys. What he's talking about is this. We've got, say, a giant dish, our solar system, okay? We've got the sun in the
plate.
center, plate. It's a plate. And so this plate sitting level, we'll say.
Spinning.
Now, this event that happens every 3,600 years happens elliptically, like this. So if this planet comes in, circles back around, enters our orbital system, what's going to happen then to the sun is that because it's magnetic, it's going to be attracted to this planet X.
You'll have a
coming in.
connection. You'll have a
You'll have a
connection.
connection. What then happens is it sends solar flares into Earth's atmosphere.
Well, along that connection.
Along that connection. So once it enters, you have this big draw. Okay. Now, what they're also saying is when this planet comes through, it's going to send a shock wave, and it's going to send asteroids, comets, boom, toward Earth and other planets.
Because it's electrically charged, and that charge will attract solar system debris.
Yes.
And whether that debris comes from the asteroid belt, whether it's drug along, because
Right, there
as
will be
comets
some of that.
as comets come into the solar system, there's a large field of debris that is attracted to them, and we see those in the recurring meteor showers that the Earth goes through, whether it's the Aquariids, the Perseids, the Orionids, all of these. And this is a grande one.
So run on out there. This is also brought to you by Stanley, who makes shovels. So dig your Earth home now.
And Mr. Duct Tape.
Yeah.